thanks for joining us for Coffee with Kiera, sponsored by the Human Being. So tell us a little bit about the class and what folks can expect.
Okay, so when they come to class, they're going to have a couple hours first of like a classroom learning environment. We talk about how not to be a victim, situational awareness, that's very important. The best victim you can be is the victim you don't have. So if you can avoid, getting into some kind of altercation or being grabbed or attacked or something, we talk about that a lot. Things to look out for: personal safety, home safety, car safety. So we go over all that kind of stuff. And then after our classroom portion, we break everything down. Very easy. Most women don't know how to fight. They've never really thrown a punch before. They've never really had to protect themselves in a fight. It's not something that women naturally do.
It's not something our mothers teach us.
No. So not like the boys that are out there wrestling around, roughhousing and playing. So we break it down step by step. They learn the different moves, different mechanics to it, the functions, placement, and all that good stuff. The next day, we'll do a little review. We do some groundwork stuff because most fights always do end up on the ground, especially on a sex assault or something like that. So we do some of that kind of work: how to get out of those positions, how to defend yourself in those positions, how to make yourself less vulnerable, almost even in different type of positions that you might be in and fall in. And then we do what it's a big smile. It's our red suit. So it's our big protective gear. We have bad guys in the class. So
bad guys,
police officers that you get to legally beat up on.
Legally beat up
the men. So we do. So it's scary. They look like this big, Ninja Turtle type thing, coming out in this suit. It's kind of scary, but it's good because part of my class is I want to put these women in what's called the black zone, kind of like deer in the headlights panic mode, in a controlled environment, and work them out of that feeling, out of that freeze, feeling like they can't do anything, or that panic mode, and get them to actually engage and see that they can fight back. And with the tools and the stuff that we show them, it's effective. They can protect themselves, they can get out of the situation, they can get away enough to make themselves safe and get help. So the scenarios are great. Most self-defense classes that I've ever seen or researched, you pay anywhere from $100 to a couple $100. You go sit in the classroom for anywhere from 4 to 8 hours. You watch the instructors, you get all this great information, but you never get to practice it or try it out and see if it really works or what works for you. Now, we give the girls enough tools that, they might be practicing one thing all day, saying, oh, this is going to be great, this is my move, I've got this. And we put them in those scenarios, and guess what?
It's not going to
work. So then they've got to be like, oh, what else did I learn, and then we're there screaming at them. The way it's set up, I have me and one other female, usually a detective female, so I'll have Detective Johnson. She's there kind of serves as an advocate, because a lot of times we do get the victims through our class, and a lot of times they'll have some flashbacks and PTSD and things that they need to work through. And having that second female officer there is great, because she's like my watcher. She's the one that they can go talk to. She can pull them aside. And being a trained detective in those specialized areas of sex assault and stuff, it's a good breakthrough, and it's a good kind of medium for the class. So back to then, they're in the fight and they get to learn all this great stuff, but they really see that it works. It's very empowering to them. There's such a change in the women on the first day, sitting there all meek, quiet, shy, really don't know anybody in class, all strangers, all different walks of life, lots of different stories. We go around the room, get to know each other a little bit, and hear all these different stories. Sometimes the victims will tell that they're a victim right away. Sometimes it takes up to the second day, but usually they always end up telling us in class. And different experiences, different everything. Every class is different. I've probably done over 500 classes now in the 10 years, and every class is different because every woman, every situation, and life, experiences bring different to that class.
So how can people sign up?
They can get a hold of me at the police department. They can come in and see me. They can call
994-3636.
Yes. 541. Very good. Email. I do prefer a lot of the registrations through email. That way I can really keep track of who signs up, because it is limited. We only have 25 spots available to fill. We do keep the class kind of small. That way my bad guys too, because every woman gets at least 3 scenarios. So if you can imagine my poor male officers that volunteer to help me out, they're getting beat up
By 25 people.
you know, 75 times in one day, and they get their bell rang, even with all the protective gear and stuff. I mean, they don't give it to the girls either. The girls actually have to fight, and they prove themselves that they can do it and they can get away. So my guys get their bell rung quite a bit, but it's good. It's great, and it's all for a good reason and good purpose. I would rather, have women have to use this and have to take a report down the road that something bad happened. So, and I have had women over the many years, I get emails, I get phone calls, I get letters saying how great that it helped them fight their demons. That, one lady I had would say that she woke up every morning, couldn't even look at herself in the mirror for almost 20 years, goes through the class, and all of a sudden it's like just this relief off her shoulders. Because
she finally feels safe and empowered.
Secure, empowered.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of it, though, the
Huge part.
empowerment.
So you've been in the classes.
Yeah.
It's big.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
What's amazing to me as a male watching, from day one, I pop in and watch, and then day two, when they're working on the red man suit, these girls are meek and mild at the start, but in that second day, you go on there and you hear yelling and
Who
screaming.
are these women?
And you hear them just, yeah, let's go, and they're hitting and they're punching. I'm like, now that's what it's about.
Yeah.
How do they get away?
Mm-hmm.
And the empowerment and the just the self-worth, you see it all coming out, and it is quite a good transformation. It's really nice to see.
And in all my years, I have only had one woman find me, and I'm glad she did. She hunted me down, told me about her experience. She went through a 6-month court trial. She said she actually had to use what she learned, and the judge told her whoever was her trainer did an amazing job.
Aww.
So it's touching. It really is, and it gives me that kind of just that feeling to just keep doing it
It's
because
one of
it's
those
for a
things.
reason.
You hope you never have to use it.
Yes.
But if you do, it's good that you have the tools.
Yep. And she told me the same thing. She's like, it happened so quickly in her kitchen. There was a sex assault. They tried to grab her, and all she could hear is my voice in her head, yelling at her, just grab that. She had a bag with something in it, and, grab it, hit him, do this, do that. And she said she just followed the voices in her head, which was my voice at the time. And it was just amazing. So, and she survived. She didn't get attacked. She got out of her home. She beat the dog's not out of one of the guys in her home with, what she is with the bag. But she was safe. And the judge, she went through the court trial. She said it was absolutely an eye-opening, amazing experience. And yeah, so she, thankful for all of it and that she took the time to attend. I really, really stress no excuses. Anybody can attend. Females, disabilities. Like I was saying earlier, I've had one with fused shoulder. Pretty much the only disability I haven't had yet is a female in a wheelchair, and I think that would be an amazing thing too, so that they could see.
They could learn as well. That they can protect
They need
themselves.
to still learn what strengths they have, what strengths they don't have, what's maybe diminished, what they can work on and improve. So it's a great class. I can't express enough. I want every woman, not even just in Lincoln City, but in Lincoln County and surrounding, to come and experience it if they get a chance eventually. So, and we'll put on more classes.
Thank you for doing this and keeping it. Just one more way that Lincoln City Police and our other police agencies as well work to help keep the community safe, which is amazing. You also work, real quickly, a lot with kids.
Yes, this is the second summer now that I've gone the Lincoln City Youth Program. Parks and Rec in the community have been great. Lincoln City Parks and Rec. They've partnered with me and kind of helped me out to get a kickstart and everything last year, and they've continued to work with me this year. So I give them a big thank you. Other community people too have helped with it. Subway, Don Williams gave me a stack of lunch coupons for all the kids for free kids packs to come in. So I've been giving those out to the kids too during the program. And what it is pretty much I do 1 week with the rec kid program, the truck program. Police come as kind of like the host, and we do our summer games programs for the week of rec. And then the second week is strictly just police week. There's no rec program or anything, which is a big help to the community. There's very limited daycare. People are going still back to work. It's a week before school starts, so it helps out the community in that sense too. But it also gives the youth and the kids, because it is age 5 all the way through high school, something to do, some kind of program to take part in, and it's fun, learning environment. They get to interact with police, different entities in the community as well. Just for an example, my week. We start out with daily lessons really quick. We'll go over bullying, how to get along with others, how to make good choices, how to be a good citizen. So, there's daily lessons in every day too that we go through and teach the kids in a fun way so that they remember it and they have fun, they love it, and they enjoy it. And then they have competitions throughout the days and the weeks. They're all divided into little teams and they have to work together as a team. And actually, earn points as a team and work together and learn how, with people that they don't know or maybe they don't quite get along with or they are friends already. But they all have to work together to earn these points. Towards the end of the week, everybody gets a prize. But the first team, they earn the most points through the competitions, being caught doing something nice, holding a door open for somebody, picking up a piece of trash in the community, being a good citizen, that kind of thing, that earns them points. So it's based off points. The first place team gets to pick their prize off the prize table first, and then it goes, second, third, and fourth. Everybody gets a prize because everybody does a great job usually during the week. We'll invite, I had Officer Rigg come last week. Officer Mosick came. Officer Rigg taught the kids about handcuffs. By the end of the day, they were all handcuffing each other. Even Officer Smith got handcuffed. And he's been a great help too. Our SRO Smith here at the department.
The school resource officer.
Yes. He helped me last year. He's helping me this year. Normally the program is a SRO, school resource officer type program that I've done in the past while I taught there. So I'm really trying to get our SRO involved really heavily in it so he can continue the program too. But on top of that, Officer Mosick came and showed them all their equipment. They talked about, what police officers do. I had the fire department come down, North Lincoln Fire. I think they had more fun than the kids though. They got invited for water safety. They talked about water safety. We had a major giant water balloon fight. The firemen were drenched head to toe in their full uniforms, like their dress uniforms, not their wetsuit uniforms. And it was a blast. The kids loved it. They thought it was the best thing ever. And like I said,
well, how often do you get to throw a water balloon at someone in uniform, right?
So it was a lot of fun. So the kids get all this positive interaction with, the police, the fire department. In the past, I've had medic services come with the ambulance. I've had Flight for Life even come before. So I'll try and get different community involvement as well for these kids to just have this great positive interaction. It gives them something to do for the week. Just on a whole, it's a great thing.
That's wonderful. And another fun thing that the Lincoln City Community Center is doing, they're getting ready for their pool closure and maintenance. And a prelude to that is something they've been doing for a long time, which is really fun, and that's the dog swim. And this year's dog swim is a little bit special. Let's talk about that.
It is. When I was down at the community center with the rec kids this last week, I noticed a sign up on the door, and it caught my attention because all proceeds this year from it, which is a suggested donation at the door to bring your dog in to swim, which is on September 2nd at 4:15 at the community center, are going to our police canine fund that we've been trying to raise money for. And we are very excited, and we're almost there. I think we're, 1/4 of the way left?
Yes. We're
almost there. 25% left to collect in donations, and we can get our first dog over here, which we're very all excited about.
And Sergeant Weaver, can you explain why it's important for Lincoln City to have this dog? There's already 2 with the sheriff's office. Newport Police has 2. Why does Lincoln City need a dog?
Well, there's a couple reasons. We do rely on the county, Nix and Bonnie, that's the dogs there. And they are tracking dogs. And they, for the most part, they're quite a ways away. Like yesterday, 2 days ago, we were tracking a wanted felon here in Lincoln City. And there wasn't enough time for them to really get up here. We didn't
By the time they get here, the suspect would be
a ways away, and if you don't have enough people for a good perimeter, because when you're tracking a person, you have to have a good perimeter set. And they're wonderful dogs, and the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office has been so gracious to allow us to use them. So when we call, and we call them all the time. So can we use the dog here? Almost definitely. There's a couple different reasons. Not only the tracking capability of bad guys that we need to catch, and you think about burglary at a business, and we want to catch those people, and they get out they'll say the burglary happens and we know it just happened and we saw them running and we can't get them. And if we have dogs here, we're going to catch them. So the business owners, let's rally together and let's get this thing done. The other part, I think one of the biggest parts of having a canine dog is that they're fun around kids. If you get the right dogs, which the kind of dog that my Lieutenant Broderick wants to get is a very friendly dog. And the dogs are really friendly. When they're working and if they have to bite somebody, it's out of fun. People think it's really scary or that they're bad dogs. They're just having fun. They are really having fun because that's what they're trained.
Right.
It's a prey drive or a play drive. And they have fun doing that. But the most of the work that they're going to do is being in the community, really, and showing off what they do, how well trained they are. Part of the monies that we need to collect are for equipment. We have to buy the dog. They're expensive. Then we have to buy the vehicle and then outfit the vehicle because it has the canine air conditioning, it has the canine cage, and it has all the vests and the leashes and the food and the bowls and all those things. And we're probably going to get donations for veterinary work and those things. And we're almost there. We're 3/4 of the way there. So all that money is going to go to the car, the dog, and the equipment.
The vests,
The
we want to make
vests.
sure the dog's well protected.
And the ongoing training, and they train all those dogs. They're trained every month. You have to keep those dogs in good shape. You have to keep them tuned in to how to do what they do. So it's ongoing training. You just don't buy one and then go, okay, we don't have to train anymore.
Right.
It is ongoing training, and it's a lot of training, and a lot of search and seizure technology for the policemen and what the laws are doing. So it's a very strict program, extremely strict in the canine.
And you also work very closely with outside agencies, including our neighbors to the North Tillamook
Oh, yeah.
County. And so having a dog here in Lincoln City,
Yes.
I know Bonnie and Nix have gone up to Tillamook to help them. And that's quite a ways for the dogs to travel. But if there were one here in North County, that would make it easier to help other agencies as well, right?
Absolutely. I mean, if they have even Lincoln County, if they have a dog in the South County and something happens in Otis, our canine would probably be shifting that way if they need help, tracking somebody. Such a great program. I just don't know how to. And you love dogs. We all love dogs. The other thing that's really fun is some of these dogs, and I think how we're going to approach it is you can take them to school and the kids can love on the dogs. I know Nix and Bonnie are that way, and they're just very nice dogs. But when it's time to work, they're focused and they're ready to go because they're having fun. That's their playtime. They have two different playtimes, and one is I'm gonna go find you. The other one is I just get to play with the kids.
Hide and seek, I
Hide
win.
and seek, and that's how they think, and it's so
Mine's been
fun to
great.
watch them.
It's down 2 of my suspects in this last
Yeah,
year.
we
That's
had one.
awesome.
It was Nick's. We had a burglary. It is just a couple weeks ago. I knew he was in the house. The door was broken in one of the residences here in Lincoln City, and I got Nick's up there, and we just surrounded the house. We'll just wait for the dog. No policeman got hurt. And when the
suspect doesn't get hurt.
the suspect didn't get hurt, so the handler held Nick's, and as soon as that door came open, you ever heard these dogs bark? You're gonna lie down. So it was get on the ground. The guy went right to the ground and hooked him up, put handcuffs on him, and there was zero issue. So the policeman nor the dog, nobody gets hurt. The suspect, nobody gets hurt. And that is normally
And it
the
makes the
outcome.
community feel safer as
Very.
well, right?
Well, think about it. Most bad guys in Lincoln City know we don't have a dog, unless we call the county. Now, once Lincoln City gets a dog, and now what are the local bad guys going to think? I better not run, because and it takes away all the injury points. We had one of our policemen get hurt because we had a guy on a big cliff, and one of our sergeants got hurt his knee. Well, we did have, it was Nix that was here, and she came up from the bottom, and we did catch the guy. And because we didn't know exactly where he was, but we knew he was on the hillside. And Nix found
I
him.
remember that. And when there was somebody fleeing from you guys, this is one of my favorites, up at Chinooklands, decided to drive across the golf course.
Oh, yes.
And then that didn't work, so he's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna run
Yeah.
for it.
And then Bonnie.
And you had
That's
Bonnie come out,
Yeah,
and
that's funny. I found him.
Bonnie found it.
we're okay, I give.
And so they're wonderful. They're absolutely wonderful, and I hope our citizens pull together and just finish up that last little bit.
And
that
how
we
can
need.
they make donations?
There's two ways. You can come down to the police department and Officer Blakely, Holly Blakely is the point of contact there. Just get a hold of her, 994-3636. She'll
What
direct
about
you
like
to
at
come
City Hall? City Hall's a little more accessible than the
Well-
Lincoln City Police Department right now.
in. You know, Lieutenant Broderick, you can contact, and it's just a phone call away.
And there's
that-
a Facebook page.
There's a Facebook page. Should be some information on there.
I know we've received a few checks in the mail too. That
Yeah.
are just
Oh, that's
addressed
perfect.
to Lieutenant Broderick.
Yeah.
And
to
just
the
make
K9
sure that they put in the memo
K9
that it's for the K9 program.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's just a wonderful thing. We're so excited
And we
here.
thank everybody so far for the donations.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
Everybody.
Any amount counts. It all adds up. We've had donations from $5 to
Thousands.
so it
Yeah,
all adds
thousands
up.
of dollars.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else that you'd like to add as we're wrapping up?
Wear your seatbelts.
Don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive.
Don't distract and drive.
No distracted driving. And
Stop for pedestrians.
And
watch
stop
for
for
the
pedestrians.
I do want to just mention one other event that we are putting on,
Oh,
a
yeah.
program we're putting on here at the department, because we just have so many good events
I
going on
know.
lately.
We could make this program
Right?
last for hours.
We have our Citizens Academy coming
Oh,
up. It
that's
starts
right.
September 5th. It is almost full. I just talked to Detective Johnson, who is the one that coordinates that program. She says we have one spot left. So if anybody is interested, it's a great program. Go ahead and get a hold of her within the next few days and get signed up. Just really briefly, it's kind of like you get a little insight of what we do, what police work is, what we offer the community, what the community can kind of expect. Whole police pie, and you guys get a little slice of like each thing that we do. Well, we talk about, we go over traffic stops, officer safety stuff,
criminal law,
criminal law,
procedural law.
We talk about warrior
Fingerprinting,
mindset.
warrior
Yeah,
mindset.
warrior mindset. They get some hands-on. They get to go to the range. They get to fire guns. They get a little bit of our defensive tactics training program. Like I said, just little slices of everything, but enough to give them that kind of insights and experience to see kind of what we go through, what we learn, what's expected.
Then do
Great
you
program.
utilize these folks after they graduate for like volunteer opportunities?
If any come up, we have had a few
If
people
it does
interested.
come up,
Yeah, if
yeah.
it comes up. But one thing is, it makes them, it kind of gives that situational awareness that I've talked about before from my class. It makes them more aware out there as a citizen in the community, I think, and it gives them more of a,
Another thing,
overall.
the awareness of what the policeman goes through and what they do as a job. And then they pass that along to their neighbors and their friends. That helps us, because if I contact you and I'm saying, hey, be nice, if you're on a traffic stop or something, they're doing their job, or this is why they do what they do. This is what they're doing. And it just helps the community and those folks that have been through it, who pass it along and are able to explain if you had an experience on a traffic stop or at home, and so that citizen that went to the academy is able to go, well, this is why. This is what was
It's
going on
for
with the
their
policeman,
safety
and it's for
and-
safety. So that has been huge for us, and those folks who've been through the academy, when they're done, I had no idea.
a little
I
bit more
had no
enlightened
idea.
about like what
And
police
then
do.
you have
The
support.
reasoning.
And a lot of that's the support for the police and the police department, and they learn so much. Because I do the traffic stops on that, and when you run them through scenarios, it could be a gun on a dash and no one ever sees it. It could be what you experience in a traffic stop with a person that's not happy about being pulled over. And to watch someone that's never done a traffic stop, and they're the one standing at the window, and I'm acting and being a poo-poo head. So what happens? They're going, oh, what do I do? And then we walk them through it. And how
Well,
to.
and everybody's different. You don't know the person that you're
No
pulling over.
idea.
You don't know what kind of a day. They could be the nicest person on the
Right.
planet, and they could have woke up in the morning and gone nuts
Had a bad
and
day.
having a bad day.
Or if
And
someone,
then they get pulled over, and that, that's, now this is happening.
So you can have that, but think about it this way. You could be pulling over a person that did a triple homicide in New York and is wanted for it.
Yeah.
You just don't know. Could be greatest person in the world up to someone that's really, really bad. And
You don't know. It's a big mystery.
Yeah. And so how do you stay safe doing that? Just in the vehicle stop component of it. So we're giving them those ideas and kind of tactics how to stay safe.
Things we look for and why we
Yeah.
look for it and that kind of thing. It's great.
Well, thank you both so
Thank you for coming up.
much.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you
guys
so
are
much for coming
amazing
up.
for what you do.
Thank you.
High fives for everybody. Bum home. Bum home.
And please stay safe when you're out there.
Absolutely.
If you want to get involved, either with the Lincoln City Police Department or your local police department, the sheriff's office, you can contact them. There's lots of ways that you can get involved and help keep our
Yeah.
communities safe.
Safe.
Again, if you want to donate to the K-9 program, you can contact the Lincoln City Police Department or sign up for any of their programs, 541-994-3636, and they will point you in the right direction.
And let me give you my email because
Yes.
if you are interested in doing the women's self-defense class, like I said, I love getting registrations on my email. That way I can keep track and print out emails and who, wrote me first when I'm on my days off. That way it's fair. It's S for summer, and then Daneker, my last name, DANNEKER, at lincolncity.org.
Wonderful. And thanks for joining us for Coffee with Kiera, sponsored by the Human Being.
Thank you for the coffee. It's good.
Yes. In Newport on Highway 101 and 6th Street, and here in Lincoln City at the north end of Highway 101 on the west side of the highway. For Pacific Northwest News and Entertainment, I'm Kiera Morgan.